I grew up with a lot of white girls who used to dye their hair blonde specifically because everyone wanted to go blonde all the time. And my mom used to tell me that the way that you could tell that someone would look good blonde or would look natural blonde is by their eye color, because people with brown eyes are not naturally blonde as adults. I know a lot of white kids start out with blonde hair as babies or have blonde hair as young children, but as adults, people only with natural blonde hair really only have blue or green eyes. And I just think it's an interesting, maybe this is something obvious, maybe this is something everyone knows, but it does feel like relevant to the featureism conversation that white women are having on this app specifically, about their sort of perceived inferiority regarding their brown hair or brown eyes, or, not being seen as like the perfect European beauty standard. And I think that is because ultimately the beauty standard is Aryan, and Aryanism is as white as possible. And as white as possible means blue or green eyes with blonde hair naturally. And then if you can't be that naturally, then you can dye your hair or whatever. But if you have brown eyes, even if you dye your hair blonde as an adult, it's just not going to look natural. There's something sort of uncanny about it. And I really agree with that. And I do notice it. Like, it's something that I have lived with basically my entire adult life. Like, when I meet a woman with blonde hair, I don't look at roots. I look at eye color. So I don't even really notice roots. But I think there's something interesting about like blonde blindness. Blondes are whiter. And, if white is right, then the whiter you are, the better. And so I think that's why a lot of women dye their hair blonde. And I think that's why a lot of blonde blindness exists. And I think that's why a lot of uncanny blondness exists too, because it's not, having light skin does not automatically mean that you can or should have blonde hair. And it feels like the blue eyes or green eyes piece of it is tied into, the how natural the look is, but then also into sort of this larger conversation about superiority. So yeah, maybe this is something obvious that everyone already knows, and you're going to be like, yeah, obviously. Like, of course, naturally blonde people tend to have blue or green eyes. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents about the white featureism conversation, which I think is really interesting.